This is Ricky Chevy, and I'm the blue-collar millionaire.
I'm Mr. Peck. God, that's great every time. Spectacular. We're the Bronis Brothers.
I am the One Go Revolution, Taylor Hendricks.
This is Brandon Espinoza.
I'm the Assassin.
I'm Bruno Raul Limata. I'm James Moose Thomas. I'm Shiloh Jones.
My name is Ron Head. I'm the announcer for OVW. I'm Jamin Olivencia.
I'm Alex Silva. I'm Rocco Bellagio.
I'm Kerry Bodie, the Ohio Valley Wrestling fan advocate.
Raphael Constantine.
I'm Rand Perez. My name's Muhammad Ali. Baez.
I'm Paradise.
This is Jack Black.
This is Ohio Valley Wrestling referee Chris Sharp.
This is Sexy Sean Casey. I'm Chris Silvio.
This is Michael Hayes. This is Jason Wayne.
You're watching Triple Threat Talk.
What are you doing? What do you mean, what am I doing? I'm hungry. I'm looking at this menu here and all this delicious food.
As you can see, we are no longer in a dining room.
Hallelujah.
Well, episode 51 of Triple Threat Talk. We told you all big things were coming. We are now filming at, if you would please, Postmaster.
We are now filming live and location at the Fox and the Hound restaurant and grill. Beautiful place for sports, spirits, and fun. We will be coming to you here
Have a beer.
Every Wednesday night.
Have a beer.
Come on over, have a beer. Play some darts. We got hoops. There's sports all over the place. We got fine food.
We even seated differently. This first episode, we don't have an audience, but we will. We got here a little bit earlier than what we told everybody. We were going to have a live audience, and we still will next week. That'll be another big thing. So live questions for us.
Live questions.
We got to think on our feet, guys. Yeah.
So we want to give a special shout out to the management team and everybody that has helped us out at Fox and the Hound.
In this beer, I find Fruity Pebbles manufactured.
I find it funny that
Fruity Pebble beer, Big B.
Yeah, I find it funny that 50 episodes we filmed the same location, and then the new term.
That's right.
We are here.
Hey, we're moving up. Hey, this bigger and better things. Last week's episode, 350 views.
At least, if not more.
350 views.
Remember, we filmed this and it's not up.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. This is
It's
awesome.
gotta be the camera.
So, as a couple of new things we want to tell you about, also with the Fox and the Hound.
Fruity Pebble beer.
Fruity Pebble beer. We actually, and I know most people are like, oh, but we will now have commercials here on Triple Threat Talk. So
pay the bills.
We do got to pay the bills. With this new sponsorship comes responsibility.
Absolutely.
And we do got to have our commercial breaks. So we will be taking short 30-second commercial breaks throughout the show.
Commercial.
So,
and you guys will recognize a couple of things. It's not always going to be Fox and the Hound. Sometimes it might be a play commercial or whatever. But
maybe it'll be Big standing on his head, jumping through a hula hoop.
That'll be fun, right? It's not going to be anything boring, you know. That'll be fun.
Not yet.
I think the Lions cap was on when we tried it.
Oh, okay. So I know it's episode 51, but we always start with viewer questions.
It's kind of weird you're not sitting with it.
I know it is weird, but I kind of like the big guy being in the middle.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's more symmetrical.
We can beat on them together. I'll get him on this side, you get him on that side.
Thank you.
So from D. Michael Cage. Who was your favorite WCW superstar of all time?
All the time.
Yes.
Thank you.
Claps already. Thank you.
For me, it was DDP. I really gravitated towards DDP. He was kind of like the Shawn Michaels for me of WCW. He was a little bit different. He wasn't like the big muscular. He was from Jersey, which I related to also. I just liked his charisma in the ring. And DDP was he was different. He wasn't like, the Goldberg or Sting. Like, he was someone that, he wasn't a wrestler in the game to begin with. He was like in a management type of position. And anyway, he transitioned to wrestling. He's like a former world champion. DDP is one of the big legends in WCW.
I gotta say Goldberg. I was a big power and intensity, and went out there, did what he had to do. Did what he had to do, and got business done. I gotta say Goldberg.
I'm gonna have to go with the one man that has never donned the WWE ring, and that would be the man known as Sting. Sting was always
Steve.
Yeah, he was definitely my favorite when I did watch WCW because he seemed like the one man that could take out NWO all on his own. He didn't need any help to take out NWO, and Sting was definitely at the top of the list as far as favorites there.
Absolutely.
From Against All Odds 20. He has a posing question. He would like to know, who do we guys see taking the title from CM Punk?
Let's see. I don't see Daniel Bryan.
You don't at all, really? Surprisingly,
I don't.
I'm surprised.
I think they may fight again in No Way Out, possibly, and that might be the end of that. I'm gonna stick with my gut. I'm gonna say it's Brock Lesnar before like WrestleMania around maybe SummerSlam. Brock Lesnar keeps it to WrestleMania, loses to The Rock.
Wowzer.
I do think Lesnar takes it from him.
Oh, to God, you're wrong about that. I don't want Lesnar to be the title.
I know you do.
God.
I don't know. That is a tough question. I think right now they're content with it, but I think if it did come down to it, I think it would be either Daniel Bryan or Brock Lesnar. I think it makes sense. I know it may not be what PostMaster wants, but it would be.
What he's gonna get.
It would transition to the Brock. It would transition to Brock and Rock at WrestleMania 29.
Can't get me from here.
And I think that that would definitely. It definitely will be Cody Rhodes. We know that Cody Rhodes won't be the one to do it.
Really? No, Cody Rhodes.
No. Last week it's a Cody Rhodes free bashing, like no bashing.
Yes, and 5 minutes in, here we go. As we all know, Cody Rhodes isn't a champ anyway. Just
like
saying.
a chump.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little later.
We're gonna leave.
Yeah, I totally agree with these guys. Unfortunately, I guess Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
Yes, it pains me.
It does.
From the Tyrant 1232. So, Ric Flair has a daughter. Go figure.
Really?
I got like 16 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Nature Boy.
Well, WWE has took advantage of that situation. They have signed.
Whoa. Took advantage of his daughter.
Whoa.
No. Get your mind out of the gutter. This is a professional talk show.
It is?
Yes, it is.
Since when?
Because it is. Just be quiet. How do you guys feel about WWE signing Rick's daughter, Ashley?
I mean, I guess it was only a matter of time for someone from his family side got into the business somehow. I mean, potentially they probably want to build off her name if they're going to build her that way. So if they want to sign
Ashley Flair,
then the builder's like, oh, she's Ric Flair's daughter. I don't know. It might hurt her in the long run, to be honest.
I think so too.
I think it's a good move. I think you always want to have a Flair in your organization because, you know, he's really good. But I think that it's a good move to try to get a little bit of the Flair name back. Thank you. A little bit of the Flair name back into WWE. I think it's a good move.
They have plenty of flair, no pun intended. So, from
Right, office space.
Yeah.
Did you take my stapler?
From FWA owner 22.
No.
Who's the most snake bit franchise in the NFL?
Do I have to even think about
I think we all might agree, maybe.
Yeah, I think we all agree.
The Cleveland Browns.
Bad ownership, bad draft.
First of all, look at the Browns, okay? I can't remember the last time they went to the playoffs. And then,
I can't remember the last time they had a winning season.
yeah, and then last season they go, what was it, 4-12? Around there, their record was pretty bad.
It was bad.
And all signs point to, okay, we have this record. We're gonna get RG3. We're gonna rebuild our team, rebuild our franchise with this quarterback at the helm, and this is gonna be our team. Nope, Washington buys him out and he's on Redskins, so now they have nobody.
I agree.
So they get nothing really to improve their team.
I can't really add to that anymore. I mean, he pretty much broke it down for you people.
They can't draft.
No.
They don't know what an offensive line is. That was Tim Couch's problem. Tim Couch may have been one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. We just won't know because the offensive line broke down.
He was good in Kentucky.
He had the air raid.
He had more hits than Frank Sinatra. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was
51st episode and he's still trying to crack
We need a
jokes.
drummer back.
Give it up, though. From Richard Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Dick Kenobi.
Who do you think is the top 5 faces in WWE all time besides
Mr. Cena.
John Cena? I like how you do that besides John Cena because you all know we would have threw him in there immediately.
Yeah.
You think?
Top 5 of all time. I have to go with Michaels. Not Attitude Era, but like 2002.
It doesn't matter. Just say
It doesn't matter.
You don't have to go get into detail.
Michaels, Steve.
Steve who?
Austin.
Okay.
Who else are we talking about?
Carino.
No.
Blackman.
Blackman. Sean, Steve, The Rock, The Croc, Taker, and probably Bret Hart.
I'm gonna say Michaels, Warrior, Hogan.
Kill, you forgot Hogan.
Well, I think the reason I forgot him is because I knew someone was gonna pick it up.
The Rock, and I don't know.
Savage.
Probably Savage.
Let's be honest, no one wants to hear us say the same answer all 3 times.
Yeah,
It's boring.
it's true. I'd say probably Savage.
Kind of like you.
Cody Rhodes.
See, that beer is not good for you. So.
Yeah. Obviously, I think Hulk Hogan. I think Rowdy Piper. I know sometimes he played a heel, but he was a good guy.
He's more of a good heel person.
He was more of a face type character. I'm gonna say Shawn Michaels as well. I'm gonna say Triple H. I know he played a lot of heel, but when he is a good guy, and actually, even though they try to make him bad, the fans love him so much
Like,
they can't.
Austin's
Right.
So I'm gonna
It's the
say
same way with Michaels.
I'm gonna say Triple H. They try to make him bad, they just can't do it.
Can't do it.
From MX Horror the Second, will Damian Sandow defeat all of WWE's alleged superstars?
Alleged?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't like this angle, so I don't even feel like I should answer this, but I guess
I don't like the alleged, but yes,
Well,
I think
the
he will.
reason he said that question
because
because on SmackDown, Damian Sandow came out and said, "I'm not facing this alleged superstar." Damian Sandow doesn't think anyone's good enough for him, and apparently Yoshitatsu is not either.
So, out of these 3 individuals that the son of Sis has listed,
Who is not a girl.
who do you think has the brightest future in WWE? Goldberg, Ryback,
Skip Sheffield,
Brodus Clay,
Funkasaurus,
and Cesaro.
Claudio Castagnoli.
Yeah.
As far as for some reason I think Antonio Cesaro, aka Claudio Castagnoli. I think Ryback, he's just fighting jobbers right now. He's not really getting the exposure he needs to
But
get.
he's fighting 2-on-1.
Well, yeah,
But he's still fighting 2 jobbers.
I think
way more epic.
I think you could throw Lord Tensai here also, because at least he's faced people that actually are legit.
Come on, Lord Tensai, he's older than me and you combined.
I'm just saying.
And actually, they dropped the Lord part for whatever
Okay,
reason.
well, I'm just saying.
Tensai.
I'm just saying they brought in someone new, even though he's been there before, so a new gimmick, and he's actually facing people that are legitimate threats to him. Ryback's facing people that are half his size. Brodus Clay, he's just dancing and fighting the Miz, who apparently he's dancing now.
All right.
And Cesaro, I think Cesaro's got a bright future because of his background in Ring of Honor, and I think he's got a good chance.
Usually when people put up with ridiculous gimmicks, they've been, in this case though, it's ridiculously, but good. They've been put up a little bit faster, a little bit quicker. I gotta say Brodus.
I agree. The Funkasaurus. Somebody call your mama.
No.
Yeah. From Buckin 5.
Whoa.
That's his
fucking.
That's his
family
name.
show.
That's his name.
You're drinking beer. It's not a family show.
What present WWE superstar has the best theme song?
Actually, I think my favorite theme song is actually and I know they're not WWE, but Bowling Services.
But he asked which WWE superstar.
What's WWE superstar?
Yes, we're not even talking about
You
him.
know what? I'm gonna throw it out there. CM Punk. Why not? Why not have a little bit of 1980s pop culture rock in there? I like it. I like it.
I like the Miz's theme song, Dolph Ziggler, of course Cody Rhodes.
Please.
I mean, think about it though. All those, and they're funny. Like Dolph Ziggler, Miz, and Cody Rhodes all performed by the same band, pretty much. Downstairs.
I would think that the most
Or DX.
best theme song would have to be the Intercontinental Champion, Christian.
If you close your eyes, you can ignore him, because I did.
You just upset that he whipped Cody Rhodes' arse on
I wasn't
something.
prepared. It's not fair.
No, whatever. Prepared my foot. He knew what was
I'm
coming.
prepared now.
And obviously CM Punk, like the doc said. In your opinion, what is the best OVW match you've ever seen?
Ollie Hayes in the steel cage. I mean, really.
I knew you were going to say that because he brought me to this attention last week. Actually, we are in agreement on one.
We are in agreement. It's Johnny Spade versus Rudy Switchblade for the OVW
Spade won
Heavyweight
the title.
title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, all these matches that they put on are really good. So, I mean, there's amazing talent over OVW, and there's been matches we've seen. There's so many matches we've seen, but we can't just name one, but that was one that was very, very good.
And 2 quick call questions before we get close to wrapping things up here.
About a minute and a half, so make it quick.
What is the best call you ever made for DWA, Big B?
Let's see.
The doctor.
No.
I mean, come on.
He means best in looking.
Oh, the doctor. You must be talking about me, since I just was really creative.
No, here's the thing, okay? I know we're running out of time for we get to break, but it has to be George Costanza. And while I'm talking, there's gonna be a clip playing of George Costanza in SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. People said that was like the greatest CW ever made, just because it looked down into the T like Costanza from Seinfeld, and people were just amazed that I could make him look as diesel as he did. So it's definitely got to be Costanza.
All right, and what's the hardest part about moving your colleague to a new game?
I would think the moveset. Having to create everybody all over again. And I'll say this. Creating people is fun. Doing entrances is fun. Movesets is not. It is boring. It's a dire task. I fall asleep while I'm doing it. I am not kidding.
All right, well, that wraps up viewer questions this week. We want to thank everybody for that, and we will anoint this week's Viewer of the Week, and we will get to headlines right after this commercial break. You right there?
Hey, Nick Dinsmore here. Do you have the dream of becoming a pro wrestler? Well, I did, and I came to Ohio Valley Wrestling. Join the Nick Dinsmore Pro Wrestling class today. I'm a former WWE superstar, I'm a former 9-time Ohio Valley Wrestling heavyweight champion, and I can train you to be the best today. For all the information regarding the Nick Dinsmore Pro Wrestling class, go to ovwrestling.com and click on school. Join the Nick Dinsmore Pro Wrestling class today. ovwrestling.com, click on school.
Welcome back, everybody, here on Triple Threat Talk. I am Postmaster Jones. As you know, this is the Doctor and Big B. And before we went to break, we were talking about our viewers' questions and comments. We want to thank everybody every week, and we want to thank you all for the excellent viewership this week and the excellent interaction. We had nearly 3 pages of comments and questions.
Over 330 views. Really appreciate it.
One of the best episodes we've ever had. I've heard nothing but high praises about our skit this week. And actually, because of we answered every single question that this person asked.
Yeah.
And there's also a new viewer.
Yeah.
We will anoint Buck in 5. I'll make sure to announce that correctly for you. Yeah. You are this week's Triple Threat Talk, episode 51, Viewer of the Week. So with that wraps up viewer questions.
User
this week. So now we will transition over to headlines. So with that, Big B, if you would please.
Do I have to do it even though we're here now?
Yes. Yes, of course you do. People love it. They can't wait.
Doctor, give me the news. I got the bad case of the headline blues.
Alright, enough of that singing.
Since you guys know that because of the December 10th brawl, Cincinnati and Xavier has been relocated to U.S. Bank Arena for the next 2 years.
That's the brawl we're going to, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Right there on the beautiful...
so downtown Cincinnati, riverfront, next to the Great American Ballpark and the Paul Brown Stadium, where the Cincinnati Bungles play.
And the Cincinnati Reds.
Reds are doing good in Bungles.
They probably will do well. The Big 12 and the SEC champions.
I love this.
They will play in a primetime New Year's game for the next 5 years.
Very smart move.
And this very smart. This move is to maintain and to get ready for the 14 playoff. So a lot of this move is being met with high praise by many people. It's a very good move. It's going to be a highlighted football game because these are the 2 golden standards in football. The SEC. The SEC and the Big 12 for sure are definitely the 2 best football leagues in the nation for college. So definitely that's going to be a great addition. Also, I think, what do y'all think about that hit Pittman laid on Stevenson in the playoff game, Heat versus Pacers? Just wailed into him at full speed. And they just called a technical foul.
Yeah, flagrant one. And then you also had the hit at the end of the game with like 30 seconds to go.
Dexter Heyman.
Adonis Haslam was Dexter Heyman plays for U of L.
Oh yeah. He plays for the Pacers now.
No, Adonis Haslam.
Oh, okay.
Put the hit on the Pacers.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, absolutely
didn't even make a
ridiculous.
play on the ball.
He took elbow first, hit right in the gullet, hit him right in the neck, right in the collarbone. He could have seriously done some injury. Could have broke his orbital bone. Could have broke his jaw.
It was very ridiculous. Very stupid move.
The game was clearly out of reach. I mean, we're talking 35 points.
If you want a definition of a wallop, that's what the Patriots got last night against the Heat.
So, I'm thinking,
some suspension
for the rest of the season. I would not be shocked. A huge fine. I mean, when you're ahead 35 points,
there's no point. Why are you going to clearly do something that's going to endanger yourself for a suspension?
Right.
It's going to endanger another player. You just don't want to take that risk with 35 by postmaster, 35 points. It's ridiculous. Maybe like 5 points.
Completely uncalled for.
Completely uncalled for.
It wouldn't be called for even if it was 5 points. I mean, when you lead elbow first, and you have no intention of going after the ball. You're going for the man's head. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. And then, what we're talking about, you can do hockey next, but I'll transition to NBA. We usually do hockey first, but NBA, since we're talking about it, the Heat do lead the Pacers now 3-2, with LeBron having fantastic games over the last 2 games.
LeBron went off.
In Game 4, but see, in Game 4 wasn't as impressive as it looked.
Right.
Let's look at the numbers. 40 points, 19 rebounds, 9 assists. That is impressive, but let's look at why. You had 3 of the Pacers' top players, including Tyler Hansborough, in 4 foul territory, so obviously that's going to open up the lane. That's going to let LeBron get in there, do some of the circus act that he does when he goes in there and dunks.
Right.
That's why this happened. 40 points, I'm not sneezing on. I'm not sneezing on at all. But the next day, the critics were all over him saying this is it. The Heat have got this. LeBron's the best. No, you have to take into consideration the fact that some of your best players were in foul trouble. So that does in fact open up the lanes.
Right.
We saw it this year with UK. Whenever Anthony Davis got into foul trouble, there was definitely him backing off a little bit, and the games became closer. So because of that, I mean, it's one of those things, when your star player's hurting, when your star player is in any kind of foul trouble, the lanes are going to open up. I mean, that's just how it goes. You don't want to get that 5th in college and then the pro 6 foul.
Right.
Excuse me. Boston leads Philly 3-2 in the series.
Very competitive series here.
Very awesome series.
Philly, they actually play tonight. While we're filming, they'll be kicking it off here shortly. Tipping it off.
See, this is why I watch the NBA playoffs, because it does get compelling on the time. Like, I could watch literally paint dry before I watch a regular season NBA game. I'd watch paint dry first. But the fact that this is the playoffs and there's so many awesome storylines, and then the Spurs sweep the Clippers to win 4-0, and Oklahoma City ends the Lakers season.
Yes.
Bye-bye Kobe.
Yes.
Bye-bye Meta World Peace.
Yeah, so now LA fans everywhere pretend to care about the Kings.
Ron Artest.
They pretend to care about the Kings.
Right.
Like they care at all.
We're still in it for hockey. No, you're done.
You don't care about hockey now.
You're done.
Oh, our team's Stanley Cup final.
So, LA is known to care about the Lakers and Clippers, but now they're caring about the Dodgers and the Kings.
Really? Come on now.
So
PostMaster, take it to hockey.
We transition over to a little ice hockey, as it were.
Ice.
So the Western and Eastern Conference Finals. The Western Conference has come to a close. The miraculous, and I mean miraculous. When we started talking about the NHL playoffs, I said in the beginning that I thought the Kings had a good chance of upsetting the Canucks. They did that. And they took that momentum and just went off to the races. No pun intended, as we'll talk about. I'll have another. It looks like Doctor may have to have another.
I'll have another.
But Garcon. But the LA Kings beat the Phoenix Coyotes 4-1.
They gave them a competitive series the other night.
They did give them a competitive series. It sounds a little more lopsided, obviously,
than it seems
4 games to 1. But the games were very close, very competitive. And so that means the Los Angeles Kings, for the first time in a long time,
1993?
I think so, will be heading to the Stanley Cup final. And they're waiting the battle of New Jersey and New York. The Rangers and the Devils are tied at 2 games apiece. I know you would love to see the Devils get in, but you have said that if the Rangers get in, you still would be a little happy because you're from that area, you live there.
Here's the Like, I'll say this: the Devils are my hockey team. You know, no one else, whatever.
Right.
But to be honest, the Rangers were the best team all year. They had the best record in the East, so they deserve to get there. If they get there, I root for them the whole way.
Right. So. Absolutely. So that's interesting to note. A little breaking news. One of the, I guess, fortunate things of being here at Fox and Hound, there's certain things you can see that we cannot see in our previous set. Just come across the wire, I'm checking out NFL Network as we're filming here. Matt Forte of the Chicago Bears will not be participating in OTAs.
There's a couple players
due to contract issues.
Drew Brees not going to be doing it either. Drew Brees.
A couple players aren't doing it.
Matt Forte. Actually, from the 49ers, Deshaun Goldson is not yet reported. Definitely some stuff going on there.
And we get to NFL.
A good thing that did just cross the wire. Good news: DeMarco Murray will be returning from his broken ankle.
I can wear a stupid jersey.
We all know that other than professional wrestling, I think NFL is number 2 on our list of top.
I'm putting it number 1. I'm putting it number 1. I mean, when I come on and you know I win the first season of Top Dino, I mean it's awesome. It's awesome. I love it.
What do you mean? That's a good thing. I mean, I'm glad somebody had to win, right?
That's
and
right.
as the lottery says, and it might as well be him.
And these guys put up a damn good fight.
Well, I didn't.
No, you didn't. I did.
Well,
it was
PostMaster more so, but I've been wanting to be rating on the show.
Oh, come on, he sucked.
Really?
Wait.
Did you just say you don't want to berate me on the show?
More than we already do. I mean, come on.
Give the man a break, geez.
Right?
So, Doctor, down the stretch. Final furlong they go. Bodie-Meister in the lead.
He's got it.
He's got it. He's got it wrapped up.
Out of nowhere.
Here he comes again.
I'll have another.
The
same exact way.
The same exact way, but a lot closer this time.
I tell you what, when I think of this stretch run, I'm going to thank history. The stretch run, when I watch, because I couldn't watch it live, I was at a wine festival with, now you guys know, my lovely fiance and another couple, my best friend and her boyfriend.
Wait a minute, I thought we were his best friends.
Well, you guys are.
We're not.
We just use right now, breaking news.
We're not. We were down at a wine festival in Nicholasville, so I did not get to Kentucky Wine Festival in Nicholasville. So very good stuff there. If you're ever in the area around this time of year, check it out. One of the things that I was not able to do, unfortunately, is watch the Preakness. When I got home, the race was recorded, so I did get to watch it. And when I'm watching that final furlong stretch, that final 200 yards, the one thing I'm thinking the entire time was, this is amazing. Because I saw Al have another kicking it into another gear. I saw Bodie-Meister ahead. I saw Garrett Gomez looking on as he was making the charge. And everything was just amazing coming on. Of course, you had Doug O'Brien on the sidelines. I wonder if I'll have another.
Doug O'Neill, the
trainer. I'll have another. He was going crazy. And everybody, like you said, Bodie-Meister had it.
Yeah,
He ran out of gas at the very end. Or I'll have another caught him. It's one of those things where you just don't know. One by a neck. And I want to get your thoughts on it here in a second, but while I'm kind of on this little tangent, one half of a foot, 1.5 feet, and then a neck. Then we see this with Aladar
and a fern. It's the same thing. A fern won every time. Now, only the difference is this time that Bodie-Meister will not be in the Belmont.
Right.
He's already said. Which I'm not surprised.
He's a short distance runner.
He's not built to. Now, had he
no horse is built to run a mile and a half.
Had he won the Derby and won the Preakness, obviously he would have had to try. He would have run the Belmont. But you know, so we'll look forward to that. We're 2 weeks away from that, obviously, because they take 3 weeks off in between the Preakness and Belmont, and like 2 weeks in between the Derby and
question you pose
Preakness.
now: do we see Triple Crown?
I want to see it.
I know you want to.
Postmaster and I had this conversation. What I told Postmaster was I wouldn't care at this point if I'll Have Another was owned by the Pittsburgh Steelers and trained by Mike Krzyzewski and the Duke team.
Whoa!
I would not care.
He's serious about that.
I would think that I would want I'll Have Another to win, because we're at a point now in Triple Crown Wrestling where people think that the horses are so neglected and abused, and the truth is they get treated better than most people.
They get treated like royalty.
And it's one of those things that you eventually, being in this business, I mean, I haven't seen a Triple Crown winner, and horse racing is in my blood, and I want to see a Triple Crown winner. it's getting to the point where I don't care what the horse is. I'll have another. It's not a very, it's not a firm or secretariat or
I love that
war
thing.
admiral. You know,
but let us clarify. It's not about beer.
Right.
It's about cookies.
It's one of those things though that you want to see it. I'm thirsting to see it. I'm aching to see a Triple Crown winner.
I think everyone is.
I'll have another. Take it home. Give us another Triple Crown winner.
Yeah.
So, Doc, for the first time ever this season, John Force Racing does not win.
The second time. They had a Saturday race 2 weeks ago. I was going to get into this.
Oh, you missed it.
Ron Katz broke the stranglehold in the funny car racing.
Okay.
This is the second time.
Okay.
But yeah, David Grubnick won Top Fuel. Alan Johnson won Pro Stock. And Fast Jack Beckman did take home the funny car for the second time in a row, though. Team Force not winning. Actually, they had because Robert Height and Ashley had to race in the first round. And John Force lost in the first round as well. Mike Neff lost in the second round, so a rough week for John Force Racing.
Right. And NASCAR, it was exhibition week as it were, all-star race, no points on the line, just a million cool ones. And Jimmy Johnson continues his hot streak. And we have the epic racing weekend of the year coming up. You have the Grand Prix of Monaco, the Indianapolis 500, and the Coca-Cola 600. And we'll get into that next. We'll be right back here on Triple Threat Talk.
Nobody does what Papa John's does. You choose. For just $10, get a large pizza with your choice of any 2 toppings. That's Papa John's quality for just $10. Or for just $2 more, get any large pizza, even specialties. Plus, earn free pizza fast with Papa Rewards when you order at papajohns.com. Get a large pizza with your choice of any 2 toppings for just $10. Or for just $2 more, get any large pizza.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
And welcome back here on Triple Threat Talk. Before the break,
It feels weird having breaks.
It does.
It does feel kind of weird having breaks. Before the break, we were talking about motorsports. We were talking about
going like.
There you go.
I'm gonna follow my turn.
So, like I said, Jimmy Johnson continued his hot streak, winning the All-Star race. Kind of uneventful, and I'll tell you what. As All-Star races go, I know we talked about it last week, and you agreed with me that NASCAR has the best All-Star race out of any sport.
The best All-Star.
However,
All-Star.
This year really let us down. They decided to do it. Let's change it up a little bit. We're going to do 4 20-lap segments and a 10-lap dash to the finish. The winner gets $1 million. Here's the catch: if you win a segment, you automatically get to start 1 through 4 on the last segment. You're thinking, okay, let's see what happens. You're like,
What if the same person wins?
Well, then I guess only 1 through. But here's the strategy they took. I'm going to get into that. This is why that didn't happen. Jimmy Johnson absolutely obliterates the field in segment 1. He rides around in last place because he's guaranteed a spot in the top 4, saving his equipment, saving his tires, lagging back. Matt Kenseth wins the 2nd segment. Brad Keselowski wins the 3rd segment. And to everyone's surprise, including mine, Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins the 4th segment. So he doesn't get the lag back because obviously the 5th segment is the final. So basically, the beginning of the 10-lap dash, you have the 4 guys that won the segments finish running 1 through 4.
You guys just missed the catch on TV. They just played it. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Sorry.
So 1 through 4.
I've seen the catch.
1 through 4. And Johnson just obliterates the field. They obviously, I think, are going to change it. As a matter of fact, I know they're going to change it because there was an absolute outcry. They took something that was very good. I mean, usually in the All-Star race, there's at least a good 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars tore up and going to the junkyard. We didn't even have a wreck this year. I don't watch it for the wrecks. I don't. Let's keep it that very clear.
Yeah, some people do.
Some people do, which I hate. I hate those kind of people. But
it happens.
You just want him to be safe. You want it to be exciting.
Right.
You want the athletes
You want it to be exciting.
And make no mistake, like we covered in an earlier show, NASCAR athletes, NASCAR drivers are in fact athletes.
Yes.
So
get over it.
So we'll see Coca-Cola 600, the longest race of the year, is coming up. It'll be Sunday evening, 600 miles, 400 laps at Charlotte Motor Speedway. But before then, the greatest spectacle in auto racing takes place 120 miles north of our great city, Louisville, Kentucky. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Indy 500. Now, I know we don't talk a lot of IndyCar on here, but I do get pretty revved up about, no pun intended there with the revved up.
Thinking about Danica Patrick?
Well, unfortunately, she's not in IndyCar anymore. We've been over this, obviously. But we do have the Indy 500 this week. You have, look out for, the usual suspects of Dario Franchitti, who's married to Ashley Judd, who is obviously from where?
Kentucky.
There you go.
UK's #1 fan.
You have Will Power, who's always a good contender.
His name is Will Power?
Yeah, Will Power. He's from Australia.
You gotta have a little bit of
Will Power.
When you see Cody Rhodes coming down the ring,
have some willpower to control willpower. Elio Castroneves, I think everybody's seen him in the Pennzoil. Castroneves in the Pennzoil commercials. And then you got to watch out for the mayor of Hinchtown, James Hinchcliffe. He's a good possibility. Obviously, this week is marred by the tragic happenings of Dan Weldon last year at Las Vegas.
So, since where was only a year ago?
Yeah, because he was the winner of last year's Indy 500. So all this week, hats off to IndyCar and the people up in Indianapolis. Every day they're doing something different to honor and pay tribute to Dan Weldon this week.
Very nice.
So very good. So if you're a motorsports fan like I am, this is a big week for that. And before you get into your Title IX, I know we're
chomping at the bit.
We're chomping at the bit, and after last week's story, which I really enjoyed last week's stories, those were very good. I know they were a tennis story, which kind of segues into our next topic. Big B. Now we try to keep this show at like an hour and a half. So I just letting you know ahead of time.
But does he really even have? This is next week, right?
No, it starts Monday.
I actually looked at the bracket yesterday, and the bracket wasn't on.
It says it out till Friday.
Okay. So the French Open is next week, and as we promised our tennis viewers and our viewers last week,
all 5 of you.
Yeah, all 5 of you. Probably you.
One of them killed
your dad,
1, 2, 3,
your aunt, your uncle, all his relatives. The cats and the dogs. The French Open preview. Take it away, sir, Big B.
Well, I do want to mention one thing. This past Sunday was the last big tournament, I think, before they head to Paris. Nadal played Djokovic on the clay. Djokovic did beat Federer to get to the final.
Did anybody complain about the clay?
No, this is actually like clay.
Okay, awesome.
They would play
like Play-Doh?
Like Play-Doh? Not that kind of.
Oh, okay. So I just want to clarify.
Why do they play on Play-Doh? So anyway, then Djokovic did beat Federer, so that's a big boost for him to go into the French Open. So now Nadal beats Djokovic in the finals on Sunday. So now Nadal has all the momentum going into the French Open, so he's obviously one of the favorites to win.
Right.
Djokovic, you can't count him out. Federer, you can't count him out. So they're probably the top 3 people I would think we're going to win. You have Tsonga in there. I would throw an American there, but let's face it, Americans don't do well on the clay. They just don't.
Apparently here lately, American men's tennis hasn't been very good as it is. I mean, Andy Roddick has been on a down slope. But you say, you told us an interesting story about John Isner earlier.
Oh, John Isner, yeah. John Isner's a huge WWE fan. There was actually an article on WWE.com about him saying his favorite wrestlers are Del Rio and Randy Orton, and he revolves his schedule on Mondays around to watch Raw, so he obviously is a huge fan. So that's pretty awesome.
What do you think about, like, I know you have your usual suspects. You got Federer, Nadal, Djokovic. You could probably maybe throw Andy Murray in there, I guess. If you could throw a dark horse, like somebody that would maybe wouldn't shock you, because you're obviously an avid tennis viewer, you watch a lot of tennis, you know a lot of tennis, you're the tennis guru, as it were. Who is somebody that would be a complete, could come out of nowhere and maybe upset? I know it's probably highly unlikely, because it seems like with tennis, the favorites and the guys that should win usually win more often than they don't.
Right.
So who's somebody that you think maybe could just come from the clouds, kind of like
A dark horse.
A dark horse.
Make a long story short. I mean, like Ferrer, he's not like a dark horse. He's one of the top 10 player. David Ferrer, he's very good. He likes the clay. He's a Spanish player, plays well on the clay. Gasquet, he's from Paris, so obviously he has the crown sport Monfils. He's very good. I'd say one of those guys you can probably see maybe make a deep run in the tournament.
Any shot we see an American in the semifinals?
No.
No way.
No. I don't think Roddick is playing as well as he needs to right now. Fish, he may make fourth round, maybe quarters.
Marty Fish!
Maybe, but I just don't, for some reason the Americans don't really focus on.
What about Eisner?
They don't really focus on clay.
Well, it's on Monday, so he's got to watch Raw.
He'll watch it.
Right.
He'll tape it if he has to. But actually brings up a good point. I think it was last year when Nadal played Federer at the final. Nadal ended up winning again. Isner gave him a top 5 set. That was the first time Nadal got tested. So we can see maybe an upset like that. But more often than not, Americans really they struggle on the clay. They don't really think about Americans. They practice on hard courts because hard courts are available here in the States.
Right.
When they train in Europe, they can play on the clay because that's what the courts are available there. So Europeans are able to practice on the clay and they get better at it. Americans don't really train on the clay.
That's what I am when I'm in the bathroom.
What?
European.
Not tennis.
No worse than one of the ones you threw out there.
Yeah.
So what about the women's side? I know you have the Williams sisters.
Well,
sorta. Maybe one half. And you have your Sharapova and Azarenka and Kleisters and
Kleister's isn't playing.
Kleister's not playing. Okay. And Lena, I think is one.
She won. So I mean, I'm not going to delve into much more of that. That's pretty much it. I mean, Sharapova, she won the tournament that was in the Sunday. It was played by rain, so the match went a little longer than anticipated. Sharapova won that over Lena. That's a big win for her. Azarenka, obviously, she is doing well this year. She had a lot of wins before she ended up losing. She had a big match-winning streak. But I think Sharapova is a big favorite to win the French Open. I really think Sharapova's playing well.
Well, thank you, Big B, for that insightful news regarding the French Open. And keep it tuned in here to Triple Threat Talk. And Big B will have
go over it next week.
Updates.
It'll be fun. Come over, Bob. Have a French Open.
We allow you to talk Title IX, and we allow you to talk NASCAR. I think we can't make fun of him for talking tennis.
Speaking of Title IX,
we got to be professional here. We got to be fair.
Speaking of Title IX, it's our weekly Title IX story.
It is?
Yeah, Les Miles. We know Les Miles, the head coach of LSU.
Yes.
Yeah, Les last year, or earlier this year, I should say, Mo Eason, the LSU soccer phenom, she can kick a ball, and I'll have another on the TV right now.
All right.
She can kick a ball very good. She's the soccer phenom for LSU. So she decided, hey, I'll try out for the kicker position at LSU. She tried out for kicker punter. She did a fantastic job. Les Miles said she kicks the ball better than most men. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. So she's definitely a good kicker. She did not make the team though, and Les Miles, they all had unfortunately they had a conference about it, and they had a press conference about it. The reason is because her tackling was subpar. Obviously, some of the guys over there are a little bit bigger. But she gave it a good shot.
That's to be expected.
I mean, I can't fault her for trying out, and I can't fault Les Miles. I want to applaud Les Miles.
It's awesome because Duke a few years ago tried to give a female team they wouldn't even give her a tryout at Duke.
Well,
so I mean,
we're talking
Duke, of course, is privately funded.
Duke is like Augusta of college. Just saying.
It's one of those things, though. She gave it the good old college try. Gave it the good old college try. But at least she did it. And we're talking something. A woman trying out for the men's football team is something wouldn't have been able to do before the 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe even 10 years ago. Title IX just shapes and shapes as it goes along. And the fact that she's a phenom for LSU women's soccer team, she can now go back to doing that. And that is also an opportunity that she's making the most of, afforded to her, of course, by the ethical combines of Title IX. Right. So you see Title IX just shaping, molding the way. You have some good stories come out of there. And this, even though she didn't make the team, this is definitely a good example.
Absolutely. All right. One other sports story here before we move on to wrestling that I'd like to bring up to you. We all know that Major League Baseball is ruled by big market money and big market teams.
Yankees.
Thank you. I want to get y'all's opinion on this. And I know you're going to say, okay, Postmaster, it's only about end of May, who cares? But I actually think this is a legitimate topic here. And we'll just delve into this for a couple minutes here. What are your guys' thoughts on the Red Sox and Yankees being tied for last place in the American League East?
Okay, Postmaster, it's only I agree, this is absurd. No. It's all, I mean, the Red Sox, let's face it, they've been struggling all year.
They have been bad.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Bobby Valentine is not the right fit there.
But they have improved. They won like 6 in a row or like 8 out of the last 10 or something like that. They have
something is going on. I'll say this, one of my friends is a huge Yankee fan, and Francisco Garcia is a horrible pitcher. He's not doing that well for them. He's giving up like 5-6 runs a game for them. He's not playing well. The Yankees are kind of struggling offensively. They lost their best closer, Mario Rivera, who thinks he's going to come back. We'll see what happens.
I don't see how.
That was a big loss for them, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally for them. So it's kind of tough to see them in last place. The Orioles are still doing well. Usually the Orioles do well in the beginning of the season, and they kind of like fade off and whatever. But they're doing really good.
And that brings up my next question. Do you with this new added wild card spot per
2 wild cards now,
league, as it were, could the Orioles potentially hang on to maybe get one of those spots? Do you think the Yankees and Red Sox could recover enough to win the AL East, or will it be the Rays or Orioles? Or does this extra wild card spot help the Yankees or Red Sox?
I like the way the Orioles are playing right now. I think if the Yankees continue to play that way, the Orioles might win the Orioles might win the AL East, and the Yankees might have to pray and hope for a wild card.
I don't see how either team recovers. I think it's just one of those things that money can't always buy you the best.
Right.
And also, Bobby Valentine's just a bad fit.
He's not a good fit on the show.
It's one of those things. I do think the Orioles will win it outright, and I do think that both the Yankees and the Red Sox are out of the running for a wild card at this point.
All right, well, that wraps up sports this week, and when we come back, we'll delve into Ohio Valley Wrestling and our WWE coverage, so check in for that, and we'll be right back here on Triple Threat Talk.
My name's Muhammad Ali, Baez, and you're watching Triple Threat Talk. All right, where's my mic?
And welcome back here on Triple Threat Talk. A little breaking news. Another good thing with being here at the Fox and the Hound, we can get news to you a little faster than normal because we're surrounded by sport news. And breaking news out of the NBA, we talked about this earlier. This is ridiculous.
It befuddles me.
It does.
And I agree with it.
Dexter Pittman, 3 games.
That's fine.
I agree with that.
That's fine.
Haslam, no.
But Udonis Haslam, one game.
Really?
That was absolutely.
That just happened.
Really? That just happened.
It did just happen.
It did just happen. It's
But there you go. The suspensions have been handed down. Maybe a little lighter than I would have liked, and probably any of us would have liked on the Udonis Haslam part of the suspension. But I'll tell you what we did like. I think we had a little fun with our OVW interview this week.
It was fun until he put his hands on me.
Yeah.
So watch out. No one put your hands on the doctor. Nobody.
So our interview this week is none other than the one and only Mr. Ricky.
Bobby Hill.
No, Ricky Chevy.
Check it out.
Welcome, Triple Threat Talk fans. This is the Doctor. We are here from the world famous Davis Arena, and I'm standing right here next to one Mr. Bobby Hill. Mr. Hill, it's a great head. I'm sorry. Help me.
Nice, Bobby Hill.
Ricky Chevy is my guest at this time, actually. I'm sorry about that. Ricky, it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
What's been your inspiration so far here? What was your inspiration to get into wrestling?
Well, you know, God gave me all this talent, and you know, it's hard to be humble when you're the best. Bobby Hill, good match, buddy. I can't stand that name. It's hard to be humble, but you know what? Every day I wake up and say, you know what? You're the best. This was meant to be.
That's pretty much what you got to do. You got to be like that in this business to succeed. What should people expect from Ricky Chevy in 2012?
You know, simply what they've seen so far, except maybe some more wins is what I'd like to get. I've been cheated every time.
Nice match, Bobby.
This Bobby Hill thing is really getting up here, and people will remember the name Ricky Chevy. This Bobby Hill thing was started like 3 months ago, and it was totally cool when they did it. And I'm pretty sure when the guy pinned me,
hey Bobby, nice.
This is driving me nuts.
I think you had one Mr. Chris Sylvie on the balloon for that. I think that was him.
Yeah, and he cheated. He cheated. I should have won that match. Everybody knows I should get back to the TV channel.
describe you?
Bobby Hill. I've wrestled for 4 years now. Ricky Chevy. I've done Little John commercials. I've done everything there is to do. And now I'm taking over Ohio Valley Wrestling. This is what I get, Bobby Hill. I do not look like a freaking cartoon. Why would I do that to my own fruit pie? My own fruit pie. Yes, I watch King of the Hill.
I think everybody watches King of the Hill, but one more question for you, Bobby. I mean Ricky. Oh God.
It's Ricky, my God, Chevy, not Bobby, not King of the Hill. And in 2012, OVW and DNA will all know the name Ricky, my God, Chevy.
Damn it, Bobby, get your hands off of him.
All right, one intense, Mr. Ricky Chevy. Ricky Chevy. Thank you very much, fans.
So, what the heck? Everybody in the locker room decided to come out.
That was awesome.
That was
awesome. Thank you, Ring to
That was awesome. Johnny Spade, Mo Green. How about that? The
Baronis brothers, Tony Gunn.
Smooth.
That was awesome. And of course, the man of the hour, Mr. Ricky Chevy.
And Hank Hillman.
And it was all Hank Hill there at the end.
Dad,
Very
I want to be in wrestling, Dad. It's the best sport ever.
Oh my God, you sound like it. Now if we could just get him to look like it, you'd be perfect. But
Kevin
wait a
Steen.
minute. No, he doesn't look like Kevin Steen. He's shaved. He's clean shaved.
That's right.
The cat must have got him again.
But we want to thank everybody involved in that. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and finally we were able to get it together. Everything just amazing. Yeah. Falling together like that, humorous. We had people everywhere laughing. As the superstars were coming off stage, they were laughing. Everybody having a good time. It was pretty great. It was great. Thank you to Ricky Chevy though, honestly, for putting up with that. That was just amazing.
So we'll go over last week's OVW.
Yeah.
The family.
Everywhere on OVW. Turn on the TV. Turn on the TV.
Every belt that you can possibly own.
Except
the women's title.
Well, she's technically in with them.
Well, but not. Yes and no. We'll give you that, I guess.
She's part of OVW.
But I want to talk about something.
What's that?
A little interesting last week.
Really?
Apparently, we have a new superstar in OVW.
Oh yeah, we do.
Well, this gentleman, he wears a yellow and black mask.
Is it LT Gray?
And he goes by the name of Cheeto Martinez.
Who?
Cheeto Martinez.
Oh, like Cheeto, like the snack food?
Apparently.
Cheeto.
Like Cheeto, yes. Now, what gets me is, what to steal your word here, what befuddles me is this man has an interesting move set.
Really? It does. It's almost like you've seen it.
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, I don't want to elaborate too much because this kind of reminds me of the Papa Slice Carl thing, and we don't really like to get into that.
No.
But he reminds me of somebody in OVW with the same kind of...
Somebody that I used to know.
Rudy Switchblade?
No.
Rob Terry.
Mahayev. No, not six. Yes, no, not him. But anyway, it was very impressive.
Yeah. It was very good. We'll keep you updated on this because, like I said, it brings a bell, his moveset and his behavior. Yeah. We just can't piece it together.
I think he's
even his shouting through the match was like, wait a minute, someone else we know kind of.
Yeah, someone else, but I can't place it.
And I think we were shocked last week.
I wasn't shocked.
We nearly slumped out of our chair. I think we had our mouths to the ground.
What?
The Baronis brothers won a match on television.
Come on!
It was awesome.
I mean, it was good for them. Yes. But unfortunately, they had a pretty good losing streak going on there for a while.
Sometimes you gotta lose.
Ricky Chevy's losing streak continues, but look for good things from that young man.
We can interview you start winning, right?
Yeah, exactly. Start winning your match. The show, though, began with Jason Wayne explaining his actions against one Mr.
Johnny Spade. Pretty much Johnny Spade said, he said that even though the family took him out those months ago, they opened his eyes. They opened his eyes. So he turns his back on Johnny Spade, which I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy it. I like Johnny.
We're huge fans of Johnny Spade, but a good heel turn.
When heel turns happen and it's not exciting, it was exciting.
Right, it was very exciting. It was good stuff. Silvio came out and kind of stood his ground against Jason.
What did you say?
Silvio. So he come out, kind of stood his ground against, you know, Jason Wayne, and a match was made. Jason Wayne versus Christopher Silvio, and Jason Wayne did pick up the win in that match. Muhammad Ali Baez, since he is the TV champion, did his due diligence and did what he's contractually obligated to do, and that is he defended his television title on TV against sexy Sean Casey. Another one of our previous interviews here on Triple Threat Talk that the doctor, I believe, was so kind to, what? Why are you looking at me so funny?
Called another man sexy.
That's his name!
Fail!
I'm sorry. Let me change it just for you, okay? Sean Casey.
There we go.
So anyway, Muhammad Ali Baez was very successful.
But he was offered a, kind of a prize. He was offered a, should he just hand over the championship, he was offered, we'll say, the
Hoskies.
The services of one beautiful young lady.
Yes. The Hoskies.
Right. And of course he was touching and fondling, and then when Sean Casey turns his back, he hits him with the Ollie neck.
Use his brain rather than his brain in the second.
So Johnny, excuse me. Michael Hayes and James Moose Thomas came out with Mickey McMichael to celebrate the freedom of Mickey after winning their ladder match at Saturday Night Special. But Josette came out and said she wanted to congratulate Mickey on his freedom. And now that he was free from bowling services, he had a match for this week
against his former captor, Baby Bowling. Mr.
Christopher Bowling versus Mickey McMichael. Should be interesting.
No one's allowed to ringside. No Hayes, no bowling services.
Nobody.
And then at the very
Wait a minute. Does that mean Kenny has to leave the commentating table?
At the very end, the family came out.
I might have thought of something there.
Protein shakes in hand.
We have balloons.
Cans of tuna.
A cake.
Johnny Spade.
And then the lights went out.
We have Rudy Switchblade. We have Rob Terry. We have
Jesse
Mr. Spectacular. We have Muhammad Ali Baez.
And then all of a sudden the lights go out. And they come back on, and it's none other than Cliff Compton and Johnny Spade in the middle of the ring, who make short work of the family and their celebration. And that takes us to this week,
making his epic return full-time to OVW. Cliff Compton. He came out and Johnny Spade kicked the teeth down Rob Terry's throat. That was a very violent super kick. It was very awesome, actually. That I guess we'll see what happens as far as, you know, going from there. What role will Cliff Compton play? What role will Cliff Compton play in helping Johnny Spade maybe finally get over on the family? And this brings up a good question. Can anybody in your mind right now, is there anybody you can see that can stop the family?
No, not right now. Maybe if OVW joins together, it's going to take a little bit of teamwork. We're going to need Silvio to be the champion. It looked like he was trying to be the chosen one.
We need Jamin Olivencia to come back.
We need Jamin Olivencia. We need Cheeto Martinez. We need Jamin Olivencia. We need Spade. We need Shiloh. We need Hayes. Moose. They need to band together. They all need to band together and form a bigger family. Stop the tirades of the family.
One thing I'd like to talk about OVW before we move on to WWE, and that is if you're familiar with OVW or their website, www.ovwrestling.com, they're actually having a big sale right now.
Get on it.
So if you enjoyed what you've seen on TV, they're having a sale which might be good for you. Buy one, get one free DVDs. You can get anything. There's no limit to this. It's for all their major specials, all their Saturday night specials, personal DVDs that they've come out with. There's no limits here. Any DVD in stock at OVWWrestling.com is buy one, get one free. Definitely take full advantage of that.
Some good programming.
Very good programming. And while you're surfing the web with OVW, be sure to check out our friend Terry Bodie. and the fan advocate page where kids, I think it's 17 and under, can become a junior fan advocate.
And that's www.thefanadvocate.com,
where you can get a fan advocate t-shirt, be a part of deals and specials, be help Terry in any way possible you can.
Right.
And as always, we want to thank Terry for his continued support and effort with us. Helps us plug the show. We want to thank Frank Miller as always. Without him, these interviews and everybody at
and everybody who made a cameo appearance, to see something that I thought of come to life like that was just amazing. Whenever you have that, whenever you see something like that, someone being cool with what we were doing, even though it was kind of a slight, but not really. He really took it in good stride.
I want more people a part of that, but some people didn't make it.
Yeah, some people didn't make it. It's all right though.
It's all good.
It's all good fun. So it was more important to the people that came. It was very amazing. We want to thank the cameo appearances. Along with that, and then before we get into OVW or before we get into
WWE, yes.
Well, take it away.
We're going to take a commercial break here. May or may not be the last commercial break.
Should be.
It may not be, but if it's not, we'll have another. We'll have another. But we'll be right back here on Triple Threat Talk, and when we get back, we'll talk about Over the Limit and Captain Charisma. So we'll be right back here on Triple Threat Talk.
I am the One Girl Revolution, Taylor Hendricks, and you are watching Triple Threat Talk.
And welcome back here on Triple Threat Talk. This is Postmaster Jones, the Doctor, and Big B on location live at Fox and the Hound. And before we went to break, we said we would get into Over the Limit coverage. And I know you probably don't want to talk over the limit. It really wasn't your night, was it, Big B?
Before we get into that, I do want to say this is actually sad news. Obviously, it was like it was at least over 10 years ago when Hart tragically passed away on this day, May 23rd. Obviously, a horrific day. Everyone knows how he went. One of the best wrestlers I've ever seen. Definitely should have been a world champion at some point in his career. So obviously, our thoughts and prayers go to the Hart family as they're suffering probably to this day because of what happened to Owen.
Right. So we kicked Over the Limit off
with the YouTube, Facebook.
What do you guys think of this?
I do like it.
It's alright. I mean, it's one of those things that I guess it kind of maybe gets you in there. If you're on the fence about it and they put up a good match, it might be a good
I do like it. It gives fans, a chance to maybe see the pay-per-view if they can't order it. Like, I think one of you mentioned it a while back, maybe it was the first or second picture that did of this, where you can see in the arena, and see everything looks so you can judge if you want to buy it.
Right, absolutely. So we had a People Power Battle Royal.
And the Pete himself,
Mr. Captain Charisma, Christian, made his return.
This is I have 3 strikes down here, and this is why I was so mad at the end of the night. So this is strike 1.
Why is his return to winning that match a strike?
It ends up affecting something later.
Oh, God. So anyway, he wins the Battle Royal. He wins the deciding factor of whether he wants to face Santino Marella or Cody Rhodes. Either way, he gets a title shot. Kofi Kingston and R-Truth retained. We all said we weren't surprised about that.
I'm glad they retained, actually.
Layla beat Beth Phoenix.
Very good match.
Very good match.
Yeah, that was very good match. I know someone did ask a question earlier. We've answered before. How can we improve Divas division? It's matches like these. Have the Divas that can actually really put on a good show wrestle.
So correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But if like a year and a month ago, didn't The Miz headline WrestleMania?
Yeah, you are correct, sir. I was there.
So why is The Miz jobbing to Brodus Clay?
You gotta put it over a little bit. I mean, Brodus Clay is definitely...
How do you go from headlining WrestleMania to jobbing to Brodus Clay?
Brodus Clay's not bad.
It's nothing against Brodus Clay, but Miz is more epic than Brodus Clay.
Personally, I like The Miz. Miz is one of my favorites. He's very charismatic in the ring. His ring skills could be better, but I think Miz is one of the best talkers that we have to offer, and I just don't get why he was built up so much. And then now he's like,
and now they've torn him down to nothing.
Maybe they need time off to promote the movie. I don't know.
Maybe I don't know. I don't like this. I'm not a Miz fan, but I don't like what they're doing with the Miz.
Miz is not a jobber.
They are mistreating the Miz.
This is not a jobber.
But what do you think? We talked about who's being misused in WWE. Maybe we overlooked the Miz last week when we talked about this.
It's one of those things that, I think I think he's been misused, but I'm not opposed to the fact that Brodus Clay being brought up. I think it's a good decision because it's a thing that all the fans react to.
I agree with you.
It befuddles me that, like he said, The Miz was in the main event of WrestleMania last year, and now he's losing to someone he shouldn't even be in the ring with.
Yeah, no, he should still be in the ring with like John Cena, Randy Orton.
What's also befuddling to me is how do you have 3-4 pay-per-views in a row where the WWE Championship or World Championship is not the main event?
Because everyone was a reason.
I mean,
there's a big reason. There's a big reason behind everyone.
It's still ridiculous.
But you've said it yourself on this show. He said it. I've said it. We've said it.
Michael Hayes has even said it.
And Michael Hayes has said it. And you said it ad nauseum, even though you disagree with it. You said you understand.
I understand.
And that is John Cena is the face of WWE.
But you can't have 3 or 4 non-title main events.
They just did.
Yeah, they did.
But I explained to you. You agreed with me when I explained it to you.
Right. But it's one of those things now, going out like that was not a main event. And we'll get into it a little bit later, but that was not a main event.
So, Ryback defeats Camacho, Snoozer.
Feed me more.
Feed me more. Sheamus retains.
I thought it was the best match of the night.
Very good match. My pick for best match of the night.
Strike 2.
I'm sorry, but that was a very good match. And I know I'm a huge Christian fan, but for this purpose of this show and the purpose of me getting the best of Big B on something, me and the doctor were quite thrilled.
It was awesome.
And I was screaming at the top of my lungs here at the Fox and the Hound, where we watch our pay-per-views, obviously, every month.
Yeah, come on, every month.
But Christian defeats Cody Rhodes to become the new Intercontinental Champion. And I thought in a classy move, and I know you'll agree with this, whether you like it or not, he dedicated his win to the late, great Randy Savage.
Yeah, do you know what I did when I read that on Twitter?
What?
I retweeted it.
Well, good. Yep. I'm glad you did something nice. I'm shocked.
It was respectable. I liked it. I like Randy. Randy's awesome.
Yeah. And you said you kind of like Christian, too. You just
I don't like him beating Cody Rhodes.
Well,
you don't only want to beat Cody Rhodes.
Hey, Doc, tell him how you like to say, how'd it go? What happened? What did it do?
That just happened.
Thank you.
The
best match of the night.
Bar none. CM Punk defeating Daniel Bryan.
A little controversy.
To retain.
No, it was clear he pinned him.
Yeah. According to Daniel Bryan.
And of course, after the match, it becomes practice, so there was no shame in tapping out.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, because we all know CM Punk, they're putting up this angle where CM Punk and Daniel Bryan are kind of friends, more so on CM Punk's side right now. Why not tap out to one of your friends after you've already pinned him?
Right, absolutely.
Good match, buddy. Good match.
Good match, Doc. Good match.
We get to the reason I shake my head and shake.
Why?
John Laurinaitis. The match was annoying as he is.
The match was hilarious.
It was a squash, as the term I coined.
Reverse
squash match.
It was fun for a while.
It was fun.
It still was.
And then dousing him with a fire extinguisher, hit him over the bringing his butt.
I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you in the STF for 10 seconds.
If you can survive.
If you can survive, I'll let go. I'm doing that repeatedly. That was awesome.
Now let's go over here, okay? Cena's gonna win. He's got everything wrapped up.
Wait a minute.
Whoa! It's the big show! Who comes out to ruin it? Who likes to ruin it?
Your favorite wrestler!
You thought.
I ought to kill you right here, right now.
Your favorite wrestler!
Let's not get any blood on the tables here at Fox and the Hound. Easy. They just let us in here. You don't want us to kick them out after one episode. Jesus, calm down, fellas.
Big show.
So you thought
big about the show.
Although I didn't think, and I don't think he thought, and I think you actually didn't think either, you just didn't want to see it, that the Big Show was helping John Laurinaitis, but we all knew.
Duh!
We all knew that wasn't the case.
Duh. I'm back for my job back. Oh wait, never mind.
No. But is it
according to John Laurinaitis,
they had a verbal agreement, and they signed late Sunday night, early
Give me a break.
Really? So he punches John Cena into next Sunday, the next pay-per-view almost, literally.
Yeah.
And John Laurinaitis, like it or not,
people power.
He has a possible broken clavicle, multiple contusions. My ACL and my PCL bones are broken, and I have to ride around on this hover round.
Which says people power.
So,
it's the people.
Other than the outcome of that match, look past that, please. Look past the fact that Cody Rhodes lost the title legitimately.
I'll try to.
On a scale of 1 to 10, and we even said it was a very good pay-per-view, what do you give for this pay-per-view?
An 8. I give it an 8. The outcome at the end obviously was bad, but I give it an 8. Okay.
I think if the outcome was different, it'd be about a 9.
Yeah, or 8.5.
Or an 8.5. I like an 8
So
grade.
far, the
pay-per-views this year have been really good.
Yes, they have.
WrestleMania obviously was epic.
Extreme Rules is very good.
Extreme Rules was good. Over the Limit for what it was is really good.
No Way Out right now seems kind of bad, especially the main event is going to be Big Show versus John Cena.
And yet again, it'll be the 5th pay-per-view in a row that a title.
And proving his point.
Sorry, fella, but that's probably going to be the main event.
I don't know. This one I don't see a possible reason for it to be main event. I really don't. I don't see a business.
We'll see. They may make it. They may make it a reason. They still
pretty much covers wrestling.
They still may cover something or do something to make it.
Before wrestling ends, I do want to thank OVW once again. Thank you, Terry, OVW.com, OVWrestling.com, TheFanAdvocate.com. I really cannot thank you guys enough for the skit, the skitter view, as I'm saying.
Skitter view.
Very odd because it was set up, but it's
Now we
very
just
awesome.
need some Skittles to go with that skitter view.
DWA coverage real quick, waiting to the end of the show. This week on Destruction, the Doctor will be inducting a new member into the Doctor's Order.
And no, it's not him.
And no, although he is on my payroll for Voltage, he is not officially Doctor's Order material. Sorry about that, folks.
That's okay.
I appreciate the good work that you're doing for me.
I am taking care of Big B.
Right. And I saw that. Very good. Check yourself or wreck yourself. I like it a lot.
Also, this week there's an Lance Open and a couple of the matches there. Don't want to announce it, want to spoil things, so stay tuned for that.
The final 2 matches of the Lance Burton Open are this week. Like I said, I will be inducting a new member into the Doctor's Order. A couple of business things that I've got to, as the GM, I've got to take care of. But other than that, that's pretty much.
Do you have a wild card, or is that kind of your wild card?
Your wild card?
No, go ahead, take your wild card. I've got a slight one.
Okay. My wild card is, he brought to my attention that the views for episode 50 were outstanding, and thank you guys for that. But the subscribers on my page have taken a huge plunge. Here's why.
It crashed worse than the stock market in 1929.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There's a YouTube bug going around that causes people to unsubscribe to channels anonymously. So now I don't know if people who watch this person, but DSP made a video about it. He's a gameplay. He has a partnership through Machinima. I gets paid through that. And he brought to his attention. He has a lot of subscribers, and he lost 200 subscribers in 1 day. So obviously this is a bug, and you know, YouTube, I don't know if they're minding this or not, but it's obviously a huge problem because we used to have almost 3,000 subscribers. Now we're down to almost 2,400. So obviously this is a bug, and a huge problem. It needs to be taken care of. Somebody needs to fix it. I don't know how they can fix it because I don't know about that stuff, but it needs to be taken care of because it's a big problem for a lot of people. Especially if you like us and subscribe to us, you can be unsubscribed. You don't know, make sure you check.
Yeah, make sure you check in your subscriptions. My wild card is, it's just great to be here at Fox and the Hound.
Absolutely. I agree. Thank you to all the management team here, all the people. We continue to grow tenfold. I mean, we started with a dinky webcam, 3 guys looking like a bunch of wrestling rejects in a dining room at somebody's house.
How could I forget? We are Triple Threat Wrestling, or TQ. But yeah, I definitely want to, it's great to be here. Starting next week, we're going to try to have an audience.
A live audience.
Maybe take a couple live questions, who knows. And also, be sure to subscribe at The Doctor Triple Threat Talk. If I deem there's a question that should have been answered, which I don't think there are this week, there might be. Subscribe to me on Twitter. I will be answering the questions on Twitter, like Michael Hayes, our special guest a few weeks ago, suggested we do, which we have not been doing, unfortunately, on the page. But I will be doing it. You subscribe to at Dr. TTT.
Or at Postmaster Jones, and I'll gladly answer something. If he can't answer, if you have a specific racing question.
Go to Triple Threat Talk if you want to answer.
Go to Triple Threat Talk for anything that you want to answer. We're going to do a lot better job of doing that. That's pretty much my wild card. I'm now officially pulling for the Oklahoma City Thunder in the playoffs. So I guess
I've got an idiot of the week.
Okay.
I know we have time.
We have time.
Oh yeah, we have time. We have plenty of time.
Make it quick.
We have time. Idiot of the week. This week, the St. X Trinity lacrosse game for the state high school championships. Now I know that sounds
lacrosse, fun stuff.
Yeah, right. Well, here's the thing. It goes to sudden death. The final score is 8-7 St. X in sudden death, so very competitive. They tell people clearly do not storm the field. So an 18-year-old kid, graduate from St. X, decides to storm the field, and as such is tried to be controlled and taken away by cops. However, he slings the sheriff down and smacks him in the face, causing him to break his glasses, scratches. He was arrested at his home at like 5 a.m. either Monday or Tuesday. So definitely the St. X fan that tackles the cop in a lacrosse game has to be this week's Triple Threat Talk Idiot of the Week.
So if you want to like us on Facebook, you like us on Facebook at facebook.com/triplethreattalk. You can follow us on Twitter at triplethreattalk. You can send us any comment or question you have at triplethreattalk@yahoo.com. So Triple Threat Talk. This is Big B. Oh, this is the Doctor.
And this is Postmaster Jones. And tune in next week as we continue to come from you live at Fox and the Hound. So see you guys. We'll see you next week. And so long.
Thanks for watching. And once again, thanks to Fox and the Hound.